Hey guys, Ashlane here, coming at you today with a guide, an updated guide for Town Hall 9s. Whether you're a brand new Town Hall 9, maybe you've been one for a little while now, you've kind of hit a roadblock, or maybe you're thinking about upgrading soon, this guide should help you out. And just to be clear, these are my own personal opinions on Town Hall 9, the best way to upgrade, the best way to farm, and the best way to evolve your 3-star attacks, starting from, those mass dragon type attacks and the hog attacks at Town Hall 8, and transitioning into a comfortable 3-star game in Town Hall 9. So that's what today's episode will be about. Let's go ahead and jump right into it here. You can see I'm on the building editing mode right now. Just going to use this to show what I would focus on first in terms of defensive upgrades, and we'll cover some offensive too in this screen. So I, unlike a lot of people, end up doing my traps first as far as my gold goes. So I first focus on the giant bomb, and then I'll move over to the skeleton trap, and then I'll upgrade my air mines, and both of my air mines, and then my little baby bombs as well. So giant bombs, skeleton trap, and then, the cheaper ones obviously are just the regular air bombs, and then the seeking air mines I'd work on later on. So those would be my first priorities as far as the defensive units. And of course, clan castle should be your number one thing as far as gold goes. Air sweepers are pretty cheap. You can work on air sweepers here and there. Your queen should be your number one priority with dark elixir, should be getting that level 1 queen platform on your base. Teslas are great to upgrade, and I'm not going to include them in my defensive upgrade order because they take so long and they're relatively cheap. Shout out to Heisenberglers, my Patreon clan. They're a great group of guys and gals. If you're looking for a clan, check them out, but Clan Castle should be your number one gold upgrade in each town hall level, as being able to hold 30 troops is going to be absolutely crucial to your attack strategy. Then your spell factory in your lab should be the first things you upgrade with your elixir, because having those extra spell slots is the biggest difference besides the queen from Town Hall 8 to Town Hall 9. And then your lab, obviously, you're going to need to upgrade your troops, so your lab should come next. And then your defensive units here, we have the mortar, and the wizard tower is going to be your splash damage, and then of course air defense, archer tower, and cannons are your other defensive units. And you have the expo as well, and the hidden Tesla, which we just discussed. So let's go ahead and put the expo on the board here, and then we'll talk about my preferred upgrade order as far as these defensive units go. Now, some people prefer holding off on expos, essentially making their base an 8.5, and my personal preference would be upgrading my wizard tower, my mortar first, and then going ahead and dropping the expo. I'm no longer a believer in 0.5, meaning I would not hold off on expos after the splash damage is upgraded, and then I would end with your air defense, and then lastly your archer tower, then cannons. Now, there's no right or wrong way to upgrade anything, but that would be my own personal preference. And then I would work on walls, of course. I usually leave one builder open for walls. So how would you farm Dark Elixir being a new Town Hall 9? Dark Elixir is obviously the most important thing that you're going to need to focus on because so many things cost a lot of DE to upgrade. And look at this, the first base I click on is going to be a great base to hit. My goal is always getting 2,500 Dark Elixir from this army, and it's such a basic farming army. This is really what farming is all about. It costs only elixir, no dark elixir used here. You can see that earthquake spell has actually been donated to me in my clan castle. So it's going to be as easy as this, guys. You want to kind of clump your giants up a little bit because we are using Healer Giant. 4 healers is the max amount of healers to put on your giants and still get the most effectiveness out of those healers. After that, your healers, your 5th healer or your 6th healer, is really not making a big impact. They're only going to really affect your raid when one of your other 4 healers dies, because they lose their effectiveness once there's more than 4 stacking. Actually, once there's more than 1 stacking, they slightly lose their effectiveness, but when there's more than 4, it dramatically decreases the healer's effectiveness onto those giants. So I like bringing 4 healers, and then the rest can be Barch, barbarians, and archers, along with about 15 to 20 giants. Or if you want to have a more high-powered raid, be able to hit more difficult bases, you can use wizards. I prefer wizards, but it really depends on how stingy you are with your regular elixir as well. And the idea with this attack is it's so simple. You can see I'm not using my heroes on purpose because you, as a brand new Town Town Hall 9 are probably going to be upgrading your heroes pretty often, so I didn't want to use them in this raid just to give you an example of what you should be doing without any heroes. So you're targeting Dark Elixir. I'll show you a raid, an army composition to use if you're targeting gold in Elixir, because I know what happens sometimes is you get so much Dark Elixir while you're waiting for your heroes to upgrade that you find yourself full or close to full with Dark Elixir, and you need to start working on those walls or defensive upgrades. So what I would do is I'm just going to go ahead and build my next Dark Elixir army. You can see about 15 to 20 giants will make 18, some wall breakers, a bunch of wizards will do great, and then you just head into the base where the elixir is concentrated. So obviously, most often it's going to be 80% of it is going to be in that Dark Elixir storage, maybe, unless a lot of it's in the drills. You have to be able to identify, but by the time you're Town Hall 9, you should have a good grasp at where the loot is in a base. Just remember, 20% of that Dark Elixir could be in the Town Hall as well, so that should be also a priority. So anyway, as far as troop upgrade goes, definitely your upgrades, if you're a war-minded player, and because you're watching my channel, you probably are, you definitely want to focus on your balloon, your hogs, and your golems. Those are going to be your biggest upgrades because GoHo and GoLaloon are going to be your most popular attack strategies. Obviously, your healers, when we get into Queen Walks, which we'll end this video on, are going to be important as well. So remember, your lab, want to focus on those balloons. If you have elixir, you want to focus on the hogs and golems if you just have if you have Dark Elixir to spare. And obviously, your number one priority as far as upgrading goes should be getting your Archer Queen to level 15. I know 15 might sound like a daunting number to those of you who are just upgrading or maybe haven't even upgraded yet, but getting your Queen to 15 is when finally the Queen Walk and Super Queen farming strategies can become viable. So Queen Walk is when you attack in the beginning of your war attacks using the Queen and 4 healers, and Super Queen is the same thing basically, but farming. Here's an example of Super Queen going into mass Valk. Now this might seem like a silly army composition because basically I'm using a not too much elixir and tons of Dark Elixir, over 3,000 Dark Elixir in this raid comp, but this is what I'm using right now because I'm trying to max out my walls. So eventually you can go into really high-powered farming armies like this. It sounds silly to say this is a farming army, but it definitely is, right? It's really effective at upgrading walls fast because essentially I'm making so much I'm making so much elixir and so much gold from this attack that I'm able to quickly upgrade basically 2 walls at a time because the elixir gains that I'm seeing, besides the healers and the spells if I use them, and this was a little bit overkill, I didn't really need all those Valkyries on that attack. But anyway, those would be my farming suggestions for you. There's plenty of farming strategies out there. I also like Lava Lunion if you have your balloons upgraded and you have your Lava Hounds unlocked. I did not mention Lava Hounds in the upgrade order. I should mention that now. If you're interested in air attacks, which right now in the game doesn't really seem what the meta strategy is, but if you're interested in getting involved in GoLaloon attacks, which is a lot of fun, you need to obviously unlock and upgrade your Lava Hounds to level 2 as well. But I would prioritize the hogs, the hogs and the golem for sure, and then the balloons and Lava Hound maybe 4th. So this is the type of raid you're obviously going to be accustomed to being a brand new Town Hall 9. You can see that Clashing with Bay here has his Archer Queen only level 2. He's attacking at 8.5. This base does not have the expos. The reason I'm showing it to you is because this is what you guys will most likely be doing as a brand new Town Hall 9. Don't expect to get a level 1 or level 2 Archer Queen and then hop right into the 3-phase or 2-phase attacks that are more challenging, more technical to pull off. Start out with these easy raids. Hit bases that are also brand new Town Hall 9s. Get your confidence up. In the next replay, I'll show you how to transition this attack into a more technical raid against a more difficult village. But this is the type of thing you're going to be doing. Cleaning up a lot of max Town Hall 8 bases on your war map and hitting brand new Town Hall 9s. Don't put too much pressure on yourself as a new Town Hall 9. Your clan shouldn't be putting that pressure on you either. So this is an intro on how to turn your dragon attack into a 2-phase attack. This is actually a good strategy to use here, and you can see he has 2 lightning spells as well as an earthquake spell to take out an air defense in the second phase of this attack. So I say 2 phases because we're starting out with GoWi. So 2 golems is going to be heroes, and it's going to be your wizards. You let your wizards create a funnel for your golems. You can use wall breakers to crack them into the first layer of the interior of this base, and then you're going to trigger the clan castle. In this attack, I probably would have used 1 poison spell for the clan castle, but he kind of uses a rage spell to help boost those wizards, take out that dragon. So otherwise, though, the attack is really nice, and this is a great transition for players who are really comfortable with those mass dragon attacks, but want to make their way into more technical attacks. So basically what you're doing here, your goal is, with the golems and the wizards and your heroes, is to take down 2 air defenses, and then with your 2 lightning spells and your earthquake spell, you can take down a 3rd air defense. And then your dragons, the 6 dragons is a great number to use on this raid. Your dragons will be able to make work of the rest of the base. This is a great strategy to use here. And you can see the queen actually took out that other air defense, so at this point, all of the air defenses are down. And with this strategy, you can actually attack and not have to attack into the enemy queen. You have to be careful against these Town Hall 9 bases. A lot of people use their Archer Queen defensively to lure you into the base, into attacking from the direction that they want you to. And the idea as the attacker is to be patient and thoughtful when planning your attack, and think to yourself, why would they want me to attack from where the Archer Queen is, and how can I circumvent that with my strategy? And this is a great way to do so. Dragons actually do really well against Archer Queens, and this is a little pro tip for you if you didn't know this already, but the poison spell can be used on the Archer Queen, and it actually dramatically slows her rate of fire, thereby dramatically decreasing her DPS. So, if you don't know what spell to bring for whatever reason, or you have 1 spell slot and you're not sure what to do with it, always consider bringing a poison spell, and that means too, if you don't know what's in the clan castle, bring a poison spell anyway, even if it's like a golem or something you would never need a poison spell for, you can use it on the Archer Queen. Now we're going to transition into a GoHo attack. Again, with pretty low level heroes, you can start these GoHo attacks when your queen is level 5, to be honest with you. As soon as you have that Royal Cloak ability, which is unlocked at level 5, then you'll be good to go. Now, the strategy key, I actually have a lot of guides out for GoHo attacks, so check out my Town Hall 9 playlist, or just check out my previous videos, and there's a couple really extensive GoHo guides, especially for low-level heroes. I think I have 2 or 3 of those videos out. So if you want the technical aspects of this raid, check those out. Otherwise, here's the basics. What you want to do is divide a base that you're attacking into quadrants, and then you want to track the pathing of your kill squad. Your kill squad, like we discussed in the last replay, is going to consist of golems, wizards, and your heroes. So you can see the eastern quadrant of this base has been taken out by the kill squad. Now he's going to come in from the south with his hogs, and you can see he has 3 heal spells. So what he's going to do is divide the hogs evenly into 3 sections, each covering one of the other quadrants of the base. His kill squad is still alive, and the kill squad is going to help out his hogs by distracting some of those units in the center of the base. Hopefully they're going to be triggering some giant bombs, which is your #1 enemy as a hog attacker, are giant bombs defensively. So the idea here is you want to start out with your kill squad in an area in the base where they're most likely to trigger giant bombs. So if you see open spaces, try to tackle that quadrant with the open spaces with your kill squad. But obviously with your kill squad, it's important to also trigger and kill the clan castle. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So with the kill squad, we want to trigger the clan castle. Hopefully we want to kill the enemy defending Archer Queen, and we want to take out a quadrant of the base while at the same time triggering as many giant bombs as possible. With the hogs, you want to make a plan before you attack the base on how to take out the 3 remaining quadrants, working with whatever's left of your kill squad. Now, finally, we're going to end with the queen walk. Now, once your archer queen gets to level 15, you can really start using the queen walk strategy. Queen walk is awesome because you start with the queen, and she does a lot of damage with 4 healers stacking on here. We talked previously about why I wouldn't recommend more than 4 healers personally, unless you're getting into a real technical attack. But you can see this attack was actually against me, and what you can do here is start your queen, and again, it's a game of quadrants. We're dividing this base into 4 quadrants. The queen is going to take out the eastern quadrant and the southern quadrant. The kill squad here, which is going to consist of the golems, the barbarian king, and a few wizards, is going to trigger the clan castle, kill the clan castle, kill the heroes, and then the hogs will take care of the other 2 remaining quadrants of the base, starting with the western quadrant. And again, the 2 quadrants that the hogs are responsible for are going to be backed up by 2 heal spells. So things are going beautifully right now against this base. When you're looking for bases to attack, once you feel that your heroes are of sufficient level, so around 15 each, you want to really start with bases that are spread out like this. That would be a tip that I really often recommend to newer players or players who have lower level heroes. Start out with a base that's wide open. Why? Why would you want to start out with a base that's wide open versus compact? Well, it's pretty simple. Compact bases, by virtue of being very compact, tend to have a higher defensive concentration. Now, it's easier to take out these bases with a higher defensive concentration when your heroes are much higher level, because they can do a lot more damage and they can stay alive a lot longer. But when your heroes aren't that high level, hitting these wide spread out bases, you won't be going into those heavy defensive concentrations. So even when you're using a queen walk for the first time, start with these spread out bases, and I think you'll have a lot of success. So guys, there it is. It's my updated guide for Town Hall 9, starting with how to farm, my suggested upgrade order, and then how to transition your attacks from easy 3-star Town Hall 8-ish attacks to more technical attacks, including the Queen Walk. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and thanks for hanging out with me for about 20 minutes of your day. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day, and as always, take care, guys.
We don't play for fame, we don't play for cash. We just play for the glory.